Hello everybody, Flick here. It's time for yet another Let's Look At, and today we are taking a look at Moonlighter. As I find my right key. There we go. And the music kicks in. There, that's more like it. This is an action RPG with roguelike elements that I've been playing exclusively on stream for almost 4 hours now at this point. We're going to jump into my game in progress, but I'm just going to hang around the first dungeon. So if you're worried about kind of like spoilers or anything like that, you're not going to see anything too spoilerific if I can help it. So, not that there's that much to spoil. But the story of Moonlighter is that you are a humble shopkeep in the town of, I can't remember how to pronounce the name. And there's this dungeon that adventurers enter to try and plunder that changes every time you go in it, and it's different for every unique adventurer. The town dries up business-wise, so it's kind of like you're the only shop left, and your shop name is called Moonlighter, although it's obviously a pun on the fact that you're going to moonlight as an adventurer rather than just be a shopkeeper. The game is broken into two halves: a daytime where you can go dungeon diving if you want, but also you kind of are expected to run your shop, sell your hard-gotten gains from your exploration rather, use the money to invest in the town, bring it back to life, bring in more people, delve deeper. And your character in particular has a goal in mind, which is opening up the fifth seal, or the fifth gate, which is this thing here. And to do that, you have to conquer 4 other regions first, and as you can see, I have done 1 of 4 so far in 4 hours. It's not a roguelike in the sense of like an Isaac or a Gungeon or Dead Cells. There is roguelike elements because the dungeon changes form every time you enter it, regardless of which area of the dungeon you enter. But there is a goal in mind, there is permanent upgrades to your shop, to your person, and there is an end. So don't be expecting the kind of like play forever experience, I feel. Also, I have heard from numerous people that it's very similar to a game called Racketeer, something like that, in terms of like the shopkeeping element. It is daytime, and I'm not particularly hurting for cash right now, so I think we're just going to go straight into a dungeon. I'm equipped with a greatsword and a bow. I've got some basic armour that isn't upgraded yet. I've got 3 health potions. But this is the town. Here's our blacksmith. I invested in his store to come here. He doesn't give you a discount, sadly, even though you're the one who invested in him. And over here I've got somebody who sells other things from the dungeon, so if you're missing something for your own recipe, because that's kind of like the trade-off you have to do. You sell stuff, yeah, but you also need stuff to upgrade your gear because you don't have stats. Well, you have base stats. The only way to improve your stats is with gear. You don't level up, there's no skill points, that kind of thing. Similar to a Nipponichi software game I played on the PSP, but I can't remember what it was called. I was going to say You're Not the Hero, but that's an indie game, I think, that I covered on PC. There's a game similar to that where like you're just a normal guy and you start over at level 1 every time you die, but your base stats grow instead. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, this is our enchanting lady. She makes our gear better and also sells us health potions in return for gold and stuff we get from dungeons. As far as buttons are a major sticking point. It does recommend a controller. I went in with just using the keyboard and now I'm used to it, but the button mapping is very strange. WASD to move, that part's normal. Spacebar is your dodge, and it's very, very similar to the Gungeon dodge in the sense that you have iframes at the peak of your jump rather than all of it, which is fine, I'm used to that. K is your attack button, as I accidentally pressed J. K is your... There. J is your attack button, but I was next to that sign. J is your attack button, K is your power attack button. And then Z is change weapon, so I can fire an arrow as well, if I wanted to. And then I is inventory, which is normal. And E is use a heal. So you've got both your hands on the keyboard to play the game, you don't use the mouse at all, and I don't believe you can remap them. So a major sticking point for a lot of people who aren't using controller are that the base keys are very, very strange. I'm not sure why they did that, or why they didn't let you customize it more fully. This is the big door you want to get in to finish the game, essentially. But we're going to go to the first area, which is like slime ruins or something. Golem dungeon. Close enough. It's filled with slimes. This game has a thing for slimes that makes me uncomfortable because I wonder about the developer's tastes. But, you know. I bought this on my own accord, incidentally, because a roguelike I got from a developer just turned out to be garbage on stream, and I was like, well, what's another roguelike that I was interested in trying? And Moonlighter was the one. I hadn't heard back from the developer, so I just bought a key for myself on Steam. And I will be linking to the Steam store page. I'll be doing the whole normal shindig. So here we are. It's very Isaac-like in the manner in which it presents itself. You travel from room to room. Rooms have enemies. You kill the enemies to move on. You don't always need to kill the enemies, actually. Like in this case, the door stayed open. So you can just kind of move if you want. I wonder what I felt behind me. It was the dog stretching, I think. Do you mind? I'm trying to record a video. Similarly to Spelunky, there is a timer, and a giant slime monster is going to appear and try and murder us if I hang around on one floor too long. I've got the hang of the combat now. It honestly took a little while, and the buttons are a large part of that. Also, working with the hitboxes, and I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way, you just have to get used to them, is another thing. Where sometimes the opportune thing to do to an enemy, like I did there, was you kind of be side on to them when you attack rather than directly in front, because then you can hit them and they can't hit you, like here. No, it's easier to do that with a great sword than it is a sword and board setup, but you can still do it. Alright, so we found a treasure chest and we found some gear that we can take, and again, when you... Do you mind, young lady? When you find gear, you have to make that kind of decision of, do I keep it for myself? Do I sell it in my shop? If you're hurting for inventory space, you can just drop it into here and sell it in the merchant's mirror, but it gives you basically nothing in return. Also, these pink marks mean that the items are cursed and they have to be in a specific place in your inventory. So they have to be in the top or the bottom of your bag, they have to be on the left or right. Sometimes the curses are positive, like they'll send an adjacent item back to your home straight away, or they'll remove the curse of an adjacent item. So it pays to pay attention to that. Although honestly, I'm mostly just going to be selling everything we get here into the merchant's mirror because I don't really need it. We are a bit overpowered for this area now as well. Ooh, it's a rare find, especially for floor 1. I don't think Sora likes Moonlighter. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it quite a lot. As long as you don't go in with the wrong expectation. Like if you are going in with the expectation of just starting up a run, every run being different, you know, rinse, repeat, the quintessential roguelike. It's not that. It's a bit more like Rogue Legacy, or even beyond that. Because Rogue Legacy, once you finished it, that was basically it, but you had to repeat yourself through a randomized dungeon to get there. I believe, and I haven't been back to the boss chamber in this area, but I believe once a boss is dead, it's just dead. Might be wrong, but I think that's the way it works. So it has to be on the left or right, and so does it. That's okay. In fact, they could stack because we already had something with the exact same curse. The other two abilities I've unlocked so far is... Oh, that's gone down in price, I think. I thought that was 300 to teleport back to town. You spend some gold to teleport back. If you die, you lose everything that you're holding. And then I recently unlocked this, which is you make a portal, you can go back to your base, but then you can come back to the same build of the dungeon. You don't have to start over. So these are little story beats that we can find about people who've been in the dungeons and died. They're like moths to the flame, I tell you. These adventurers. So many attracted to the dungeons. So many to only feel the burn. Luckily, if you pass out in the dungeon from exhaustion, or pain, in other words if you die, it spits you out. Eventually. It's a messy ordeal. No one really knows what happens. But one eventually wakes up outside the dungeon. Well, with only small traces of slime nearby and, well, any energies they may have accumulated inside. Yes, some have left the dungeons to never return, but plenty have stuck it out. Many enjoy the thrill of fight. Fight, not flight. Many looking for that big payday. There really is so much more to these dungeons, though. That just occurred to me. The person who wrote those journals is dead. How is he dead if the dungeon spit you out instead of killing you? I don't usually make that a sticking point to talk about, but it's kind of it's a running joke on the streams when I've been playing this. This game has a thing for slimes and being eaten by slimes. And I'm not saying developers can't put their kinks in games, but what I'm saying is be a little less blatant, because it's a little uncomfortable. Allegedly. I should definitely throw in an allegedly there. I don't know the developer. It's my assumption based on my experience with the game thus far. But anyway, thanks to having quite a few armor upgrades now, these enemies can't really hurt me. Ah, this slime portal, which will consume us. You know. Yes, I know it will consume us. I'm sorry, but it has to happen. Will take us down to the next floor, but I'm going to go quickly heal up on that heal spring just before we do. There's one heal spring every floor, and according to a note I found in the game, it's always on the path to the exit. Cannot confirm or deny, but apparently that's the way it works. It has a finite amount of health it will give you before it is exhausted and doesn't give you anything until you go to a new floor. So the asking price for Moonlighter is... I guess this must just be the new standard price on Steam, because like of the last like 5 Let's Look At's I've done, I'm pretty sure they've all been this price, and that's £15.49. And every time I've been like, that's a very precise number, that's got to be based on tax or something. But maybe it's just the new suggested default by Steam, because it can't be a coincidence that I've covered so many games that are exactly that price. Oh, that enemy. Yeah, those enemies have a habit of just committing suicide for some reason. I don't really know why. But yeah, it's $15.49, which is apparently the new standard. I do feel like in some cases that standard price is a little high. In Moonlighter's case, assuming you are into the gameplay loop, I think that's fair. You're going to get a reasonable amount of time out of it. If you want to ignore the shop side and just kind of do the dungeon crawling, I think more or less you can. It'll just take you a little bit longer to get the shop upgrades because they're very expensive. I think the first shop upgrade is 10 grand. No, wait, no, more than 10 grand. We can check when we go back. So what's this curse? Destroys one item in the direction shown upon returning to town. So you want that in the bottom row, otherwise it's going to destroy something. What does this do? Destroys one item curse. So this is a good one because it removes the curse from something. So we can put it here, and that curse is gone. Simple as that. And this does the same thing. Now, how can I fandangle this? I don't think I can. Oh wait, no, I totally can. Put that there because I want to get rid of those curses. And do that. Curse is gone. It's alright. This is the only second video of the day. Come on now. You can't be upset that I'm recording. Telling the nice people about Moonlighter. I'm sorry, Moonlighter devs, that my dog is such a critic. She takes after her owner, I guess. She doesn't like the slimes, that's what it is. And with that, I'm with her. Health potion? Hey, health potion. And a journal. I need empowering crystals to enchant my weapon. I wish I'd found this sooner because I didn't know that's what those crystals were for, and they sell for quite a lot, so I was just selling all of them. It's the big red crystal things. But you need them to enchant, and enchanting items is the only way to get armor. You can get more health from just buying armor, but to get defense up on the armor, you need to enchant them. But those seem really hard to find. They do not seem to be in chests. Yeah, they drop from, like, there's dark red slimes, they're guaranteed to drop one. It seems, anyway. Each individual dungeon has its own flavour, incidentally. This is the slime dungeon. The next area, it's still got slimes, because, you know, but it's a forest. Totally different looking stuff. There isn't golem enemies. It's all like plant related. Just do our Zelda attack. You know, Zelda. That guy in the green suit. Ah, okay, so this removes a curse, and these are items we don't know what they are until we get them out of here. But what we can do is... oh no, we can't stack those because they've got a curse. Well, we could get rid of the curse. Do that. Oh, but I was going to show getting rid of the unknown curse, so, Hang on. You know what, let's just sell them for 47 gold. And then we're going to... can I stack them? No. Okay, take a stack of 4. And then unknown them. Alright, so it turns out they were ancient pots, so we can actually stack them. Whoops. You have to hold to pick up the stack, I keep forgetting. These are okay for value. Let's see. You can honestly just sell them now. Sell that there. I don't think you can sell mystery pages, can you? Oh, you totally can. For 99 gold. In some cases, especially on the first floor, that's a better deal than the thing they'll become. So, sure. Yeah, why not? That's actually not bad. Right, here's the healing spring. So that must mean this is going to lead to the way down to the next floor. The greatsword is making some of these enemies just a joke. Which I'm glad about. I can use my bow in the next room, I suppose. The bow is not well suited for those. It doesn't do nearly as much damage because I haven't upgraded it yet. Although that's the thing, when we go back to town I can see if I have the means by which to upgrade my greatsword, my bow. So I need to make this ram itself into a rock. There we are. They're very annoying. Oh, we don't have inventory space. Well, we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of the ice cube thing. Take those. So we did find the way down to the next floor. I'll jump down to floor 3 just to have a quick look. You usually get better quality chests down here and stuff that you can sell for more value. But yeah, overall I like Moonlighter. I'm very surprised it's only sitting on, well, I say only, but it's sitting on mostly positive on Steam right now with 70-something% positive reviews, which I'm a little surprised at. I don't know if that is a lot of people just getting frustrated with the controls, or if that's people who were expecting more of an Isaac type situation. Why can't I pick that up again? Oh, I know why. Because something else filled the space and I can't go into my inventory until the room's over. I'd like those back, they're a little hard to come by. Still can't take it. Where did they need to be? That's frustrating, because I can't remember what curse is on it. There, it must have been a bottom curse. Alright, so there's the healing spring for this floor. I think we're about ready to go back so I can show you the other aspect of the game, and then that'll probably do it. If you want to see more Moonlighter before making up your decision, as I say, I've got 4 hours worth of VODs of me playing this, kind of discovering it and learning what to do. And eventually fighting a big boss and defeating it as well. Yeah, I don't have any real issue with the game. If it's not your type of thing, then, well, obviously that's totally understandable. Oh yeah, I was going to double check the upgrading for the bow. This is Andre of Astora. Yeah, I probably should have done that a while ago. Ups the strength from... Well, actually, that's the thing. With weapons, you have a top row line, which is basically just focus on... Wow, 512,000. A top line, which is just like raw damage. And then you've got a bottom line, which does elemental stuff. So I'm not sure what all the elemental symbols mean. I believe that's poison. That's obviously fire. And that'll be lightning. Taking the bow, the elemental route, just to experience it might be okay. It's still strong, it's just not as strong. 4 grand, eh? Okay, let's do it. And then I haven't got the parts required for the next upgrade yet, because that's from the second dungeon and I've only just started exploring that. So how's the bow now? Can we discern the element? It's got like a plunger top on it now. Not sure. Well, we can only sell stuff during the day, unfortunately, but we can go back to our shop Moonlighter here. I already have some stuff for sale, but I'm trying to work out what they're worth, because they're from the second area, mostly. We have got this bargain bin here, where anything we put in is just, like, super reduced in price. I don't know how you set the price here. Presumably, they just know what price it is. Oh, well, we can sleep till morning, and then we can open up the shop. Sleeping saves, so it's a good idea to do it regularly. Alright, let's start our busy day of retailing. So we're going to watch for people's reactions to the price I've set for things. You can also keep track of it here. Like, for instance, this is a stick. I sold it for 3 gold and it has like the face meaning, wow, that's a good deal. 5 was spot on. Don't know for kind of like where they'll buy it, but then be unhappy about it. And then I tried to sell one stick, one little wooden stick for 7 gold, and that was the point where they were like, nope. Although apparently they're very popular right now, which is surprising. Anyway, you want to buy something, old lady? You're looking at that big mushroom? I don't know what that's worth yet. Alright, 700 for the magic mushroom is too high. Let's try 500. Nobody wants this broken axe because I'm waiting for... There's a certain type of customer who's like a warrior type. Oh, that was a bargain for that pot. Interesting. These should not be... Yeah, it saves the price you last sold it for. They just always refuse to buy this, but I refuse to change the cost any lower. 500 for the magic mushroom is still too high. Let's try 450. Yeah, that was a spot on price for them, which was 100 each, so that's 400 gold. I'm getting slightly more than the amount because I upgraded my till, so they give you a tip. Let's see, we can sell these broken swords for 150 each. Why don't you want my magic mushroom? Take my magic mushroom. Take it into your face. So man's grumpy because I usually just sell him sticks, and he always buys them. Alright, fair price for them, good. As long as you make back, what, 200, 300 on a trip, you've made enough to cover the cost of teleporting out of the dungeon again, so you've made a profit. You don't have like rent you have to pay or anything. And you do upgrade your shop so you can sell more things simultaneously. 400 is still too high. I'm very disappointed at the value of this mushroom. It makes you really big and gives you an all stats up. Buy it, buy it, buy it. Ah! No, I'm not lowering that price, I refuse. The mushroom I will play with. I will try and get this right, because I get quite a few of them. The pots should go though. They were the ideal price. Yeah, there we are. 300 is still too much. I'm not going a penny below 250. Get out! Cheapskates. I want a warrior type to come by and buy this club. I'm undercutting the other vendor in town by 150 gold. I can sell something else in the meantime. We could sell... Have I sold one of these golem journal things yet? I have. Apparently I sold it for 500. Let's see if it was actually that. 250 for the magic mushroom? Damn. Since it was from the second era, I was expecting its base price to be much higher than that. Still, we made good profit on the journal. Get out. Inanimate carbon rods, they're only worth 30 each. See, the stuff that's in this bin, it just kind of goes, and I don't know if I'm getting money for it or not. And I'm a little concerned about that. You know, I'll put the old man sticks in there because they're not worth anything. The vines, they can go in there too. And the teeth or whatever it is. Yeah, teeth stone, that's garbage. Get rid of that. Hang on, I want to see if she buys something from there and if my gold goes up. Because they don't come to the till with it if they buy anything. Oh yeah, there we go, I got 10 gold. Okay, so that is automatic. 200 is still too much for this. Do you not know Super Mario? Them I want, them I want. In fact, stack them. You need the slimes to build health potions. Foundry rest I think I need. Hardened steel I haven't needed yet. That's fairly valuable. Looks like we're about to hit the end of day though. So once they leave, they're leaving. They ain't coming back. And we'll get our summary. So that fluid vessel was too cheap at 550. That's the thing to take back. Made 3 grand in a day, that's not too bad. It covers my costs, as I said. So yeah, we know... Well, I shouldn't show off. There's stuff there from the later dungeon, and I did say I didn't want to spoil that kind of thing. Anyway, this has been a look at Moonlighter. I like it. I don't really have any complaints other than I can see it not being everybody's cup of tea and the key bindings being a little weird. But if you use a controller, I'm sure it's much better. I'm used to it now though, so I don't feel as, like, it's alien. It's just, it's a very weird control scheme. I don't fully understand why they did what they did, but, you know. I'm not a developer. If you'd like to see more comprehensive reviews, obviously check out the Steam Store page and get a breadth of opinions. If you want to see just more gameplay, check the Miscellaneous VODs playlist for 2018 and look for the Moonlighter thumbnail. And that's it. I've covered my thoughts. Thank you very much for watching though. Please do show your support, and I will see you next time. Ta-ta for now.